Good morning, everyone. Hello stranger and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you saw my last YouTube video, and if you haven't, what are you even doing here? You know that I'm currently unemployed and in search for a job, and my narrative about this has been kind of bad, to be honest. I feel like I was focusing on the negative points within the situation more than the positive ones. And this week we're gonna radically change our perspective on being unemployed and having a lot of free time and not knowing how to structure myself. Because I know that there's a lot of positive factors and a lot of privileges that come with my situation currently, and I want to make use of that as long as I have it, because honestly, when am I gonna have this much free time again? So what we're gonna do this week is do a lot of things that I like. We're gonna use the time, we're gonna make sure that we have a routine but not be too hard on ourselves, because that's also gonna be counterproductive. Today I'm gonna go to IKEA and see if I can get 1 or 2 new lamps for my apartment and a few little things. And then I'm gonna work a little bit on my videos or my professional development. I'm trying to do a few project management courses right now. And then we're gonna see what the week brings. I'm probably gonna talk a little bit more about changing the narrative within your life later on, because I feel like I have a lot of thoughts on that. This was good. I spent a lot of money, which is not as good, but I got a bunch of stuff that I wanted or that I needed, so it's good nevertheless. I got some hot dogs and I'm gonna bring my friend who's a little bit sick the hot dogs now, and then drive home and do a little bit of an unboxing. Let's do some coffee first. So as you're probably able to tell, I did not only get a lamp, because who goes to IKEA and just gets a lamp? I obviously, like everyone else, tried to find the donut lamp, but they didn't have it inside. But that's fine, because I found a different one that's super nice, and I will show you once I figured this out. I really like those open lamps with the light bulbs. I have a lot of them actually. Oh, then I did get a new plant because most of mine died because they all had the same disease. So I had to replace them, and I started with at least one smaller plant. I got this one. Then I got a corner shelf for my shower because I have the same thing in like rectangular, but it takes away so much space of this very tiny shower. So I got this one, smaller cutting boards, 2 very cute picture frames. I got Christmas napkins, 3 candles, and a new knife. As I already talked about, I have been very, I would say maybe ungrateful about my current situation. I know that in my video about being unemployed, I talked about how it is important to find the positive factors in it and to make use of the time and see all the advantages it has. But the reality is that it's very hard, obviously, and I'm struggling to do exactly that. I think you were also able to see my last video where I was kind of complaining a little bit that I just get very easily irritated right now and frustrated and angry about little things and nothing and everything. But it's mostly that I'm angry at myself for not living up to the expectations I set for myself. Because my expectations for me were to make use of this time that I have and be grateful for it and see my privileges and see all the opportunities I have now having this much more time. And instead I feel like I'm just worrying about what's gonna happen in the future instead of focusing on the present and being scared about things that might happen but might actually not happen instead of just seeing what's happening right now. And then it comes down to me being annoyed at myself for not seeing things rationally when I know that I can, but my mind just cannot keep up with that. I'm stuck in a place where everything that's happening right now is scaring me and makes me feel very insecure. And this translates into different disadvantages I'm facing right now, like my body acting up, my sleep being very bad, I'm waking up all the time, I cannot fall asleep, I'm constantly somewhere else in my mind, I just, zone out all the time when I'm with friends or family. And that's not something I want, obviously. I'm very annoyed at it, I blame myself, which is not helpful either. So as you can see, it's kind of a downward spiral what's happening right now for me. And I mean, obviously this doesn't only happen in a situation where I'm unemployed and I don't know what I'm gonna do with my future. It happens in other situations as well, so it makes sense to tackle it now that it's so prominent. I feel like I'm facing a problem that a lot of people in my age are facing, and you're like in your mid-20s where you're wondering what it even is that you want to do in your life. And honestly, I'm also not sure. Sometimes I think that maybe I do want to have like a daytime job in a cafe and do like something else on their side. And then I wonder whether I want to stay in corporate, whether I want to have a career, how important is money for me, how important is having an abundance of money for me. And I feel like because of the way the world works, we have so many limitless possibilities what we can do. And it's very hard to choose what you want to do, and that probably gives people a lot of decision fatigue. It definitely does for me, because I would just roll with whatever I did before I was unemployed just because it's easier than actually wondering whether I want to do something else and actually working towards that. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the job that I had was amazing and I would love to get back into the company and do the same thing, but it's also connected to working 5 days a week and probably even overtime, and that's something where I don't see myself long term. All other factors beside, obviously, I do have to make enough money to make a living here. And I'm also thinking that this is a period that I'm not gonna have again anytime soon, that I have a month or two of free time. If I start working now, this will only happen again if I quit my job and don't immediately start another one. I think it's the same for a lot of people in my age, that we have the possibility to decide and we have the time to do so, especially when people finish university or during university or after an apprenticeship or in between jobs. And we have this decision fatigue and we have so many opportunities we can choose from that it's hard to choose at all, and we might just feel insecure or dissatisfied with what we are choosing. I think it's very hard to actually tune in with yourself and realize what you want. Obviously, it also changes over time, and that's probably something that we all have to cling on to, that thoughts and feelings and expectations and standpoints change, and whatever it is that we want now is right, and whatever it is that we want later is also right. So it probably makes sense to kind of just delete every other thing you were thinking about out of your system and focus on what you intuitively decided to do. And I think for me right now, the most important step and also the hardest step will be to focus on whatever is happening in this exact moment instead of being somewhere in the future, being somewhere in the past, because that's what I'm doing since like 2 weeks or so. And it's not helping me out. It's not helping anyone around me. So I want to find ways to stop that. And I think I just have to tap into myself again a little bit more, do a little bit more journaling, find out the things that are happening inside my brain, and be more conscious of what I'm doing. And then on the other hand, also just let things happen. So if I have a free day and I don't know what I want to do, that's fine. Then I can also stay in bed a little bit longer if I feel like it. Difficult days will come at some point, and it's okay to enjoy that's a little bit more low-key right now. And I guess that's the same for everyone listening and watching right now. Things are gonna get harder, but things are also gonna get better and easier. Everything's changing. Nothing stays the same. I finally got my vacuum. I'm so excited. We're gonna open this now. I'm pretty sure I told you in my last video that my other vacuum broke, which honestly, granted, it's like almost 4 years old and it cost me like 80 euros or something.
Walk into the place, a spot you from a ways. My heart, it started racing. Crowd across the way, thought was on your face, and then from the 80s. Someone keeps blocking my way. I can't feel farther away. Wait on a moment to say that I want you. You know that I want you. Oh, across the road. Across the road. Lost and in a daze, I caught your sudden gaze, and time it started racing. But moments tend to fade, and you're too far away from me to get my name in. Someone keeps blocking my way. I can't feel further away. Wait on a moment to say that I want you. You know that I want you. into the place, dispatch you from a ways. My heart, it started racing. The crowd across the way, flowers on your face, and then from the 80s. Someone keeps blocking my way. I can't feel farther away. Wait on a moment to say that I want you. You know that I want you. Across the road. Across the road. Lost and in a daze, I caught your sudden gaze, and time it started racing. But moments tend to fade, and you're too far away for me to get my name in. Someone keeps blocking my way.